Hey folks, welcome back to Game Geeks. I'm your host, Kurt Wiegel. Today we are going to be discussing Deadlands Lost Colony. Now there are currently 4 timelines that all are sort of interconnected for the Deadlands game. There's the Weird West, there is Deadlands Noir, which is set in New Orleans and other parts in the West, sort of the 1920s, 1930s approach. There's Deadlands Hell on Earth, which is post-apocalyptic. And then finally, there is this, which is Lost Colony. Now, the backstory here is interesting as well as infamous. The first introduction of this setting involved, let's just say, something in the adventure that a lot of players got pissed off about. Me, I would have embraced it and rolled around in it, but I'm a different sort of player, I guess. This is definitely a science fiction Western spiritual game. Now, that's a lot to take in, so let's talk about it. Science fiction. It is set on a planet other than Earth. It's a planet called Banshee that has some weird stuff going with it. We sent a colony ship over. It may have made a couple runs, and then communication with Earth got shut down. The wormhole tunnel collapsed, and now they're on their own. So, what else? Well, that's the science fiction part of it. There are spaceships. There are space stations. There are mining. How's it a Western? It's got a really Western feel. Explore. There is a race of hostile natives that live on the planet that they're dealing with. They also live in the space land around it. There's a less hostile race called the Anuk. The bad guys are called the Skinnies, I believe. Now, here's what I need one of you to note for me. I know in Deadlands Hell on Earth, there is a group of gray aliens that have a base at Devil's Tower as a tip of the hat to Close Encounters. I don't know if this is the same group of bad guy aliens we have on Lost Colony. If someone could find that out for me and make a comment below, I would really appreciate it because I'd be very curious to know if there's that link. Okay, so everyone likes powers, right? Everyone likes cool powers. What are the cool powers here? Well, there is shamanism. There's still a herald, which is you died and came back wrong, but you died and came back and you are now still alive and kicking. Then there is the other version of the Return from the Dead, which are called the Guardians. These are the good way to come back from the dead. You aren't undead. You are still alive, unlike the herald. But you have certain powers because the planet Banshee is alive. We can't communicate with it, but the planet itself has a sentience. And the the Guardians are sort of what's the word I'm looking for here? Sort of the immune system for the planet. They fight the good fight. They prevent bad things from happening. Now, because this is connected to Deadlands, the Weird West, there is still this idea of these big bad spiritual entities have a foothold on this planet too. All right, so you also have breakers who are great at disassembling metal and technology and making it into new things. This is ultimately linked because of a nanovirus. I don't think that's a huge spoiler. There's also psychers who have psychic powers. All right, so I love this. I absolutely love this setting. Westerns, as I've established, are not really my bag. This is totally my bag, baby, because it's got elements of science fiction, horror, Western, spiritualism. It's set in one system, so you're not going to worry about this turning into a traveler game. You're going to be staying in the Banshee planet and its environs. And honestly, there's a lot still here. There are bad parts of the planet where the evil has manifested. I make it sound like it's Ash versus the Evil Dead. Totally worth the watch, by the way, if you enjoy watching Bruce Campbell mug at the camera as much as I do. So there's a lot that drives this game. I love every bit of it. This is a game that I can completely see myself running in the future. because it's deep. It has a plot point campaign and some Savage Tales. There's other material that's out for it. There's Widowmaker, which is about a station where bad things go wrong. How much is it horror? I'd put it not quite on the level of Event Horizon. It's definitely above Alien. Probably one of the better ways to describe it is it's Firefly through a much darker lens. And having recently watched the Cowboy Bebop live action series on Netflix, yes, I know it wasn't very popular. I have absolutely no knowledge or love of the original source material, so I actually loved the show. But after seeing it, I realized that Whedon really needs to kick them a few bucks for Firefly. So what can you do here? Pretty much anything you want to. It's a relatively savaged planet. It is a relatively savage planet. There are regions that still aren't well explored. Go explore them. Be a lawman. Be a farmer. And it's supported by savage worlds. The Psychers here are very interesting. The Guardians are fascinating. The Breakers, I've never seen anything like it before. Sadly, though, there are no rules for stampedes. For Game Geeks, I'm your host, Kurt Wiegel. Good day and good gaming.